Alright, so today we're talking about Chasedowns, friendly fire, and the Ganker mentality. This is example number 1 of how not to do a Chasedown at the end of an invasion with 3 people, as shown by the fact that I've already gotten plunge attacked by one of my co-invaders. If there are co-invaders in the way of the plunge attack, you probably shouldn't take it. Doesn't matter how much damage you do to the host, plunge attacking your invader is not worth it. Anyway. I want you to check out my co-invaders here. They're using a one-handed greatsword to chase down the host. Fighter PL over there is relentlessly hitting the L2 button as usual. And the other guy is Spiked Mace Man, who is using Karthus Beacon and the Old Wolf Backpack, despite the fact that the host is too laggy to hit confirm. Anyway, I want you all to pay very close attention to the way we are interacting with the host. Essentially, what you'll notice is, though we try to surround him, we are all very nervous to get in his face, we are all very nervous to play aggressive, and we are very, very nervous to try and hit him simultaneously. This is for a few reasons. First of all, because he is relentlessly R1 and parry spamming, and second of all, because our weapons that we have chosen are not optimal for chasing people down. Brief skip there. Largely because I first miss a swap and then I get parried. And as a person who makes informative content for YouTube on Dark Souls 3, I cannot allow anyone to see me as anything other than a PvP god. Anyway, I hope that Spiked Mace Man will leave me alone for a bit and stop hitting me with his comically oversized hammer, so that I can 1v1 Oscar of Ouroboros for a bit. But nope. Spiked Mace Man just really desperate to be the worst co-invader alive. Karthus Beacon, the Old Wolf Backpack, and the Spiked Mace. If there was ever a build that screamed, I have no idea what I'm doing, it's that one. Even Dang It JM was not willing to call Karthus Beacon anything other than trash, and that is pretty telling in my opinion. After I plunge on Oscar of Ouroboros and kill him with a running R1, I'm going to provide one more example of how not to do a chase down. Step 1 is to be using the Spiked Mace. Step 2 is to fail to hit confirm your first R1, and Step 3 is to use the Guinness Book of World Records swing arc L2 on the Spiked Mace to hit all your co-invaders in the vicinity. Anyway, we will leave this invasion and come back to it later. Speaking of my status as a PvP god, here's a clip where I get utterly destroyed with very little chance to win at all. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about the Ganker mentality a little bit more, and why, essentially, Chasedowns are so much easier for gankers than they are for invaders. The root cause of why they're easier is pretty obvious. Gankers don't have friendly fire, invaders do. And therefore, gankers can use a whole bunch of tools that invaders really don't have. Ultra Greatsword running R1 spam is an awesome tool for gankers. RK Pugs running L1 spam, equally awesome. However, for people with friendly fire, stuff with giant hitboxes like Ultra Greatsword running R1s or RK Pugs running L1s just aren't a viable chase down tactic. So, there's a big gear difference, and that's the first difference. However, there is a secondary, subtler difference that comes along with not having friendly fire with your teammates, which I hinted at in the first clip. And that big difference is that gankers play as if they don't have friendly fire. Not in terms of gear, but in terms of mentality and playstyle. They have utterly no fear of doing just running R1 after running R1 into their teammates' back. They have no problem with clumping up on an invader, making it difficult to reaction roll multiple attacks coming in simultaneously. Overall, they are allowed to play more aggressive because they don't have to be afraid at all of hitting their co-invaders. Oh, by the way, welcome to one of the bloodthirstiest invasions I've ever been a part of, hence the metal music. But there's a question I want to ask today. Can invaders make use of the Ganker mentality, that mindless, brain-dead aggression, that just relentless running R1 spam? And the answer is yes, absolutely. However, unlike gankers who are able to utilize it with basically any weapon in the game, you know what they say, any weapon becomes viable when you're ganking. invaders are a lot more limited in terms of their Chasedown arsenal. The answer is basically spear or katana, as the Mocha Latte once said. You've heard a lot of people say probably that spears and katanas are the best Chasedown weapons for invaders, and this is absolutely true. The obvious reason is that the straight, narrow hitbox on the running R1s on these weapons gives you a much lower chance of hitting your co-invaders. However, there is, again, a secondary, more subtle reason for why these weapons are so good for Chasedowns. They unlock the Ganker mentality for invaders. Because you have a lower chance of friendly firing your co-invaders, you can afford to play much more aggressively, and therefore can unlock a lot more pressure. The chances of you hitting your teammates has an inverse relationship with the amount of aggression you can play with, and also therefore the amount of pressure you can assert on the host. You hear a lot of YouTubers say friendly fire is bad. I am here today to say that friendly fire with your co-invaders is not necessarily a bad thing. You can afford to hit your co-invaders. There are definitely certain times when friendly firing your co-invaders is not really a bad thing. If it allows you to assert more pressure and limit the host's options more, then it is a good thing. This is why this invasion is so bloodthirsty. Blue can smell it in the air. He tries to black crystal out. We don't even care. Nope. No black crystaling out for you. You put on that Ganker covenant, we're gonna gank you back. Host is literally summoning in the background, and none of us care. All three of us co-invaders just want people to die. We want him to summon. We want more people that need to feel our bloodthirsty nature. We want to kill more people. Host summons again. We don't care. He's using the Gargoyle Flame Spear, the 2016 meta. We don't care. Get CBV'd. Get bloodthirsted. Ugh, the sweet blood. It sings to me. Yeah, Chug, go ahead. Get absolutely tag teamed by S-Doc and Handaxe. Best couple forever. Anyway, God, I want to play some Bloodborne now. We catch up later in the co-invasion, and even though my co-invaders and I hit each other a whole bunch in the first half of the invasion, look over in the corner there. That's warmth. The host has had so much Estus drained by our ganking mentality, by our mindless aggression, that he's essentially just down to like no Estus, and all he's got left is his overleveled Phantom's warmth. While we hit each other, and that was not good, it unlocked a great deal, it unlocked enough pressure for us that the host was just put into an absolutely terrible, terrible position. Anyway, Blue dies as well on top of the overloaded Phantom, and it's time to say goodbye to these two absolute champions. Not even necessarily fantastic players. One guy is using the Dragon Slayer's accent meta, not that great, but he was smart enough to equip a katana and, you know, do running R1s nonstop. So, anyway, this wonderful invasion, infused with blood. Elwyn waggles all over the shop. You'll be taunted by them sooner or later. Anyway, so host is out of Estus. He literally didn't chug. He was out of Estus from the start. All he had left was that warmth. And we are done with our insanely bloodthirsty invasion. I hope you haven't forgotten about the invasion from the start. We have joined back up. Fighter PL over here has swapped from the one-handed greatsword to a spear, Dragon Slayer sword spear, and instantly, in a matter of seconds, the amount of aggression that we are able to unlock just by having a co-invader who's just spamming spear running R1s is insane. The difference is unbelievable. The host was able to just roll around people non-stop for the first half of the invasion, and then that Phantom died in, what, 5-10 seconds? The difference is just huge. And yeah, Fighter PL is still hitting parry a lot, but you know, what are you going to expect? Fighter PL is just going to be Fighter PL. Poke, slash, 2 more. Poke for the tears pop. Just all the aggression in the world just unlocked by having a spear instead of a one-handed greatsword, and the dumb spiked mace guy actually leaving us alone to pressure the host for a second. Here's another situation where friendly firing your co-invader is a great idea. Getting chased down, he's on low HP, doesn't matter. How many times before have you been chasing down a phantom, and when they're about to die, they get saved by someone hitting you from behind? Do the same thing to them. They're going to react the exact same way you do to pressure from behind. They're going to give up their chase down and just abandon all hope and just instantly start panic rolling away, and your co-invader will be able to run away and they will be able to heal. Obviously, if they're going to die from the friendly fire, don't hit them. Have some faith, and worst case scenario, they die anyway. But anyway, hope this was interesting and helpful. Use aggression, use the Ganker mentality, and above all, keep it silly, y'all.